Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the mental, psychological, emotional side of having gastric surgery. I'm saying gastric, but I'll say the same is true for anyone who's also going to consider bypass. As for myself, weight gain has come over the years with depression and being lonely, feeling alone. Food became my friend. So in food becoming my friend, and as I had mentioned in one of my other videos, food was my boo, it helps you to kind of self-medicate. Self-therapy also takes place. But having a surgery, food is no longer your go-to because you can't eat what you used to eat. So now when things happen or you start feeling away, you're forced to deal with the issue head on. This surgery is not a fix-it. So many people say, oh, you take the easy way out. You did this. No, it is not easy by any means. It has not been easy. It has taken a lot of discipline. This is probably one of the hardest things that I've had to do for myself. Forget going to college, being a mom, working, being a manager, all these other things. But this is the hardest thing by far that I've had to commit to for myself. And by the same token, it being for me is what gave me the drive and the desire and the inspiration to keep going, because I'm always doing things for everyone else. Everyone else comes first. Everyone else used to come first. So this time last year, I made a conscious decision to eliminate the things that I love. And eliminating the things that I love to eat, that meant going through withdrawals. I'm just going to be honest. You spend years of loving M&M peanuts. Me. It was nothing for me to go to 7-Eleven or Walmart and get a bag of M&M peanuts or M&M with almonds. And a bag of Doritos with a Coca-Cola or a pineapple Fanta. Now, if you just do the math for the sugar, and that was a snack. Those three things were a snack. The sugar alone was enough for 2 days, maybe 3. So again, just changing your mindset, changing your perception and your perspective, your relationship with food. I would strongly encourage anyone who's planning to have the surgery or considering it to think about why you're having it. Remember that you are the biggest driving force behind the success. I would strongly encourage you to get a notebook. Keep a journal. Write it out. Write it out. That's something I tell my daughter all the time. You're feeling some kind of way, write it out. Dump it out. Because by internalizing it, you think you're dealing with it, but you aren't. You're putting a Band-Aid over it. You're sugarcoating it. You're tossing it under the rug. You're doing everything but helping you to get over it. Last year, I decided I was going to let go of the M&Ms. I was going to eat less pasta. The funny thing, though, is right before I started this journey, I made spaghetti twice. And I am the Italian cooking, food preparing queen. Everyone loves my Italian dishes. Well, everyone loves all my food, but I couldn't eat it. I thought it was maybe because I hadn't had beef in a long time. The second time I made it with ground turkey. Same thing. Made me sick to my stomach. So I don't even eat it anymore. I don't eat spaghetti anymore. That's a big deal. That's always been one of my favorites. But if you look at spaghetti, the pasta alone, before you even put the sauce and the meat and the cheese and the garlic and the Parmesan, the grated Parmesan and all that other stuff on there, it's already loaded with sugars and carbs. It's not good for you. So 2 things that I eliminated that was preparing me for today. And I did that a year ago. So I spent all year from last December up until the week before surgery, mentally preparing to go without what I had always used for comfort. Of course, as the months went on, it became easier. It became more second nature to choose the healthier options. But there were days when I wanted it, especially before the surgery. I knew I could have it and what? I just deal with it and then the next day pick up with my diet. But I had to realize that it wasn't a diet. It was a lifestyle change. And this is something I have to always remind myself of, even now. And it's almost a year later. It's so unfortunate that so many people discount this decision that we make to end up going the route of gastric surgery. They look at obese people as being fat and lazy, don't want to do anything, not realizing a lot of times it's genetic. It's genetic. People were so blown away, even speaking to someone at work today, that my size, I didn't have hypertension, I didn't have high blood pressure, I didn't have diabetes, I wasn't pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, none of that stuff, none of it. I was not on any medications. My nutritionist and my surgeon was like, wow, you're not even on medication. You don't have sleep apnea. You're not asthmatic. Like all of these factors that are automatically associated with being obese. I had none of them. None. Zero. Zilch. That in itself is something for me to be grateful for. People will discourage you. They'll say, oh, when you lose the weight, what you gonna do with the hanging skin? You know, it's always something negative. Oh, your head is too long. Oh, your clothes hanging off of you. What you gonna do when you see something you want to eat? How you gonna do that? And like, bruh, sis, it is not that serious. Meanwhile, back at the camp, those same people are the ones who are watching you, looking to see if it's working because they want to do it too, but they don't want to seem like they're a hypocrite because they done talk so badly about what you decided to do to live a little longer, to be a little healthier, to gain control over and discipline your mind over your belly instead of your belly having discipline over your mind. In making this decision, I have decided to take back my life, to gain control over the things that have had me stagnant for the last 20 years. For me, it was taking control over the thing that had me to run to food in the beginning. 20 years ago. 20 years ago. There's no exchange for that. So many people don't get it because they don't deal with their own stuff. You deal with your own stuff, you'll understand why everyone else is dealing with theirs. This journey has not been a cakewalk. It's hard. It's hard every day to just stay on track, make the right decisions, just absorb and take and have thick skin about everyone's opinions and things that they say and do. It's hard. And then you're learning your body all over again. You're talking, I'm 45. You're talking at least, I'm saying 20 years since taking back, but you're talking a lifetime of disappointments, things happening. You having to snap yourself back together and put the pieces back in place and roll with the punches. Not taking for one moment to consider what just happened, how you're dealing with it, what needs to be done for your overall mental and emotional health. People will trample you if you let them. Stop letting people discount you. It's been so hard to just maintain face in front of the naysayers. You know, it's hard enough that, like I said, now I'm 10 weeks out, not even 3 months. I've lost a decent amount of weight. There's still people who won't say, oh, you look good. You've lost a lot of weight. They won't say that for their own selfish reasons. I accept it. Do I like it? No. Does it hurt? Yes. Being honest. Again, I'm being transparent. I'm doing this because I want anyone who is looking or thinking about, already in the process of having gastric surgery, to understand that it can be a lonely road. It can be very lonely. It can be very discouraging. You have to remember why you're doing it and who you're doing it for. I'm very spiritual. I rely on God. I rely on my spirituality and my relationship with God to get me through everything. But this journey, I know that I wouldn't have been able to get through it without having my faith anchored in the one who I know has held me up and kept me and covered me and protected me and provided for me this long. I know that without a shadow of doubt. I'm someone who's very intentional about everything, well, most things that I say and do. I'm not perfect, so I won't say everything. But 98% of the time, I'm intentional about my words. I'm intentional about my character. I'm intentional about how I treat people. Because I know what it's like to be mishandled and mistreated and disappointed and hurt at the hands of people who really don't care. At the hands of people who say they care, but still treat you like crap. So I just wanted to let anyone know, aside from everything that's been negative, this has been the best decision that I have made for me thus far in my life. Because I feel like I'm taking back control. I feel like I'm finally overcoming and winning some things that the devil thought he had stolen from me. And what I know about God is that when he restores you, when he replenishes you, he don't just give you back what the enemy stole or thought he stole. He gives you back more than enough. It's abundantly that he gives it to you. It's pressed down. It's shaken together. It's running over. It's more than what you ever imagined. It's exceeding and abundant. You can't go wrong with that. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that you're not alone. Always feel free to message me directly through my page. If I'm nothing else, I'm transparent. Like I said, my videos are unscripted. I'm not doing it for the likes. I'm not doing it so that I can become famous from social media, all of that crap. That's not why I do it. I do it because I want to share and I want to help at least one person, no matter what I'm talking about, whether it's my weight loss surgery, relationships, depression, whatever it is. Just remember that this is for you. It's for you. And when it's for you, there's no better reason, rhyme, or understanding as to why you should do it. Do your homework. Make adjustments as you go. Remember why you started in the beginning. You have to look at it like this. I love Hawaiian bread and potato bread. I've been eating it all my life. The first 45 years had potato bread and Hawaiian bread written all over them. But this second 45 will be different because it won't be there. It won't be there. I'm intentional about it. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good one. Be blessed.